We are reading the story. We're on page 106, and we have been talking about Deborah and Barak, and who were they trying to defeat? Do you remember his name? Sisera. Okay, so I'm just going to repeat this little part where Deborah tells Barak to go. She says, "Go. This is the day the Lord has given Sisera into your hands. Has not the Lord gone ahead of you?" So Barak went down Mount Tabor with 10,000 men, a bunch of men following him. And when Barak started to advance, the Lord routed Sisera, that means took him, and all his chariots and army by the sword. And Sisera got down from his chariot and fled. So Barak pursued the chariots and army as far as Harosheth Haggim, and all Sisera's troops fell by the sword. Not a man was left. Meanwhile, Sisera fled on foot again to the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite, who was also a Kenite. No, sorry. No, he was a Kenzanite.
There's a whole bunch of knights.
There are a bunch of ites.
That's where they got the word knight.
I was thinking of Caleb, but he was a Kenzanite, not a Kenite. Okay. The wife of Heber the Kenite, because there was an alliance between Jabin, king of Hazor, and the family of Heber the Kenite. So Jael went out to meet Sisera, and she said to him, "Come, my lord, come right in. Don't be afraid." Should he have been afraid?
Yes.
Yeah. So he went into her tent, because he's doing what? He's trying to what?
Hide.
He's trying to hide. He's trying to find somewhere to hide. And she covered him with a blanket. He said, "I'm thirsty. May I please have some water?" And she opened his... Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, he said, "May he have some water?" But she opened a skin of milk and gave it to him to drink and covered him up. "Stay in the doorway of the tent," he told her. "If someone comes by and asks you, is anyone in there, say no." But Jael, Heber's wife, picked up a tent peg, and when he was asleep, defeated him. It says other than that, but we're going to just say she defeated him.
It's too much.
It's too much. It's too heavy. Just then Barak came by in pursuit of Sisera, and Jael went out, and she said, "Come," she said, "I will show you the man that you're looking for." So he went in with her, and there lay Sisera. He had passed away because he had been defeated. Now on that day, God subdued Jabin, king of Canaan, before the Israelites. Jabin, king of Canaan. And the hand of the Israelites pressed harder and harder against Jabin, king of Canaan, until they destroyed him. Now, following this victory, the land experienced 40 years of peace. Have you noticed a theme with these years of peace?
40 and 80.
40 and 80. 40 or double 40. After that, another strong leader was needed. But at this point in Israel's history, the roster seemed empty. That means it didn't seem like there was anyone left who could lead them. A splintered tribal coalition. That means it was a team of tribes, but they were divided. They didn't have a national identity. And the people forgot their special relationship with God, and they began to adapt to the culture around them, joining their neighbors in pagan worship.
What's pagan?
Meaning idol worship. Cruz, no, just stay right there, please. As a result, God no longer helped the Israelite army, and they began to lose battles. Once again, the people discovered this tragic cycle of the consequence of disobedience. The Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord. How many times have I said that?
I don't know. 3?
And for 7 years, he gave them into the hands of the Midianites. Because the power of Midian was so oppressive, the Israelites prepared shelters for themselves in the mountain clefts, the caves, and the strongholds. So the Midianites were really oppressive. So what did the Israelites do?
They hid in caves.
They went to the caves in the mountains and they hid. Whenever the Israelites planted their crops, the Midianites, the Amalekites, and the other eastern people would invade. They camped on the land and ruined the crops for the Israelites, all the way to Gaza. They did not spare a living thing for Israel, neither sheep, nor cattle, nor donkeys, nor their crops. They took out everything. They came up, well, God was not protecting them. Why wasn't God protecting them, Cal?
Because they worship idols.
Because they had turned away again. The Lord had given them 40 years of peace, but in that 40 years, they forgot who the Lord was because things were good and they When things are good, it's really easy for us to not to pursue our relationship with God anymore because we think we don't need him. It's kind of like, oh, I'm good. And so he removed his protection from them. And now they're realizing, oh, what?
We should stay with God.
We do need him. He's not doing it because he doesn't like them. He's doing it because he needs them to see they do need him. Because if they think they don't need him, they will have a life without him. And a life without God is really what?
Death.
Death. A life without God is really death.
And you're going to hell.
Hello, hon. Well, I can see you. Let's see here. Let me just finish this last little part of this page. Let's see. Okay, they came up with their livestock and their tents like swarms of locusts. It's comparing the enemies of the Israelites to locusts, swarming. They're just everywhere. They were impossible to count. They invaded the land. They took the land. And Midian was so impoverished. Oh, sorry. No, they so impoverished the Israelites that the Israelites now, can you guess?
What? Turn to God.
Cried out to the Lord for help. And when the Israelites cried out to the Lord sent them a prophet who said, "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. I brought you up out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. I rescued you from the hand of the Egyptians. And I delivered you from the hand of your oppressors." What's he doing?
Reminding them.
He's reminding them what he's done because he wants them to know
Who he is.
That's right, who he is.
He's God.
And he is God. He's their God. I drove them out before you. I gave you their land. I said to you, I am the Lord your God. Do not worship the idols of the Amorites in whose land you live, but you have not listened to me. All right, we're going to stop there. We're at the very top of page 108, and we'll save that for next time.
Bye.